Thunderbolts is heading to theaters just a few months after Captain America: Brave New World, and we think it could bring a much bigger change to the status quo than many are anticipating. Today on Movie Recap Pro, let's explain why that is. First of all, this is based on Thunderbolts' big, open secret that the mysterious character Bob, played by Lewis Pullman, is actually Robert Reynolds, aka the superhero known as the Sentry. He's basically the most overpowered character in Marvel Comics, outside of godlike beings like the Celestials. When first created, he was an analog for Superman. His powers are derived from an advanced variation of the Super Soldier Serum, and we know from the trailer that this version is at least somewhat indestructible. We can assume that he wields a lot of power that we have yet to see in action. In the comics, the Sentry started off as a mystery. He was presented as an addict who had repressed memories of being a superhero, and over time, we learned that these memories were real, and the entire world had had its mind wiped of the Sentry's presence. The reality was that Reed Richards and Reynolds had created a transmitter at the top of Avengers Tower that suppressed all memory of the Sentry's presence in order to, in turn, suppress the Void, a destructive being within Reynolds. This could correlate to the use of Avengers Tower in Thunderbolts, where it seems Valentina has taken up residence and could be using the building to keep Reynolds in check. If it's the case that the tower has been used to blind the populace, then it could mean a big status quo shift for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Suddenly, everyone could remember the Sentry fighting alongside the Avengers during the Battle of New York. It would be one of the riskier moves for the Marvel team to pull off. Of course, this is all assuming that the MCU introduces a Sentry that maintains comic accuracy. And that's pretty unlikely, given not only the MCU's history with overpowered characters like the Hulk, but also how Kevin Feige and his crew tend to change and warp stories to fit their narrative. Just look at Civil War for the perfect example. And what about the fact that we've already had a superhero wiped from memory? No Way Home erased Peter Parker from the minds of others. And while it's not a one-to-one comparison, it would be weird to have multiple major heroes wiped from memory, especially after the blip already confused the timelines. Should have gone for the head. So yes, Thunderbolts could rock the MCU in a pretty huge way if they were to follow the comic book origin for the Sentry. We doubt they would go that far, but it's an interesting route to consider for the biggest franchise in the world. What do you think? Will we see a status quo shift in the MCU, or will the Sentry be some sort of new experiment overseen by Valentina? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Movie Recap Pro, and stay tuned for more movie news.